Hi everyone, I am going to do a little tutorial for a Chaos Crafts 3D suitcase box, and it comes with a lot of parts. So not only these parts, but it also comes with all these parts also, and some words. And I think the words say like lunch break, snack, and something else, but I'm not going to use those. What I'm going to show you is basically what you need to cut and basically how to put it together. So I will probably be stopping and starting the video so you don't see everything, but I did die cut everything out, and I wanted to kind of go through the pieces because, like I said, there is a lot of them. So let's start with the lid. You need 2 lids, and those will be these pieces here. This is the top and this is the bottom. So you cut one of those out. Each piece, she gives you a piece for each one that you need to cut out, but there is an order to them. So you do cut out 2 of these. You cut out 1 of these, and that's for the lid. Then you cut out this big piece. This is the back. And then you cut out 2 side pieces like this. So as you can see, this particular piece here is a little longer. This is the middle piece, and then you cut 2 of these out. This would be for the inside to strengthen your curves. So this is what you would cut all out in stock paper, and then I will show you how it all goes together. Okay, so we're going to put the lids aside because we don't need those to put these pieces together. And what I did is, and these right now, we don't need these little pieces. So I have already put these pieces together here. So you can see this is the bottom and this is the top. So this is the back piece here, and you would want to put it just like this. Then there's 2 side pieces. One is longer than the other. As I told you, it's the front piece, right? So what you want to do is you want to put in the smaller piece here and then the front piece here, because when you fold it together like this, that's how it's going to create like that. And I'll show you. I'm not going to put it together just yet because I want to put on all my paper. So that's basically how it's going to go, like this. This is the back, and then you will circle curve these, because these will be the 2 curved pieces of the suitcase, just like that. All right, so that's how those go. And then the lid is pretty easy. And again, you got the center piece. So what I did was I started with the center piece, and then this piece goes here, and this piece goes here. And you do not need the back piece to that because the back piece is already attached to the lid, and that's why this lid has this piece. So you would know this is the top piece. So I will be back in just a minute. Okay, now I'm going to explain what you need to cut out. And for the top, I cut out 2. You can only cut out 1 if you want, but I cut out 2, and they do come with 2 of these layering pieces. This one is just a tad bigger. It's for the lid. So if you remember the lid is a tad bigger, you'll remember that the tad bigger one needs to be for the lid. So I did cut 1 out for the lid, and I cut 1 out for the inside. So I cut out 2 of these. And you'll probably go through a little bit more than 2 sheets of 12 by 12 pattern paper. Well, not necessarily. It depends on the paper that you use. But probably 2 12 by 12s, I would say, takes the suitcase. And then as far as the paper, I think I used 4 8.5 by 11s, because I used the 30, I think it's 36 or 85 cardstock, and I use this because the 110 tends to crack, and I don't like that. So I cut out 2 pieces for the lid, the top and the inside, and then for the smaller lid, I cut out 2 pieces, 1 for the bottom inside and 1 for the bottom outside. So there's 2 of those. And then if you're going to layer both inside and outside like I do, this cuts out the front, and it's a little bit bigger than this, as you can see, so you'll know which is the front piece, and I've got one for outside and inside. These are the sides, and you need 4 of these if you're going to do the inside and the outside. So choose for the outside and choose for the inside. She does give you 2 pieces because the front comes with 2 pieces. And then this is for the back of the lid. I don't use this piece. I glue the lid to the back of this, and then I layer the back piece just right on top of it, so you don't really see it. And then you do cut out, if you're going to layer the inside, you cut out 2 pieces of the back side, and that's what this long one is. And then for the little sides, you cut out 4. She does give you 4 of these, so you do cut 2 for the outside, 2 for the inside if you're going to layer the inside. And then these pieces, she does give you 2. These are for the side pieces on the lid, and these are the smaller pieces, so you do need 4 of these, just like this. And she gives you 2, so you can cut 2 at a time. And then for the longer piece, you need 2, and she gives you 1 piece, so you just cut out 2. This is the handle part, and you cut out 1, and then you cut out 1 layering piece like this. So it goes on top like that. And then these are the corners, and you would cut out 4. She does give you 2 pieces, and I've got 2 for the inside and 2 for the outside. And then she gives you the little handles. So these are the little handles that close together. I haven't folded them yet, circled them, but you cut out 2. On these particular ones, I cut out 4 because I wanted this to be the same color inside. And this is a Mickey Mouse paper, but it matches the pink, so I decided to use it, and it was just a scrap piece of paper. So that's what I used there. And then I did cut these out in gold. Probably silver would be better, but the person I'm making the suitcase for likes pink and gold, so I just went with gold. You cut out all 4 of these, and then you glue them together, and they would look like this, front and back. And then this piece, this is for the lid. This is like for the little lock. This little piece comes from KF's Crafts ATC stamp and die. I think I saw Solus put it on hers, and it fits just perfect, so I just scrap lifted her idea, and I just keep this piece now with my suitcase. So I will be right back, and I'll show you how it all layers out. Okay, what I do is I glue everything together, and then I lay out the pieces that I had die cut for the suitcase, so I will know that I'm gluing on the correct pieces. Because if I glue on this piece, I don't know, you know, just so I know how the layout's going to be. So that's pretty much how the suitcase is going to look. And then I go through and I do the inside, and I will glue these on and then come back. Okay, so I've got everything glued on. I have the back, and this is the front, so we'll glue on like this. And I've rounded the corners, or rounded them. I forgot to put the extra pieces in there, but these seem pretty stiff because I do have, there's 3 layers of paper. So I'm going to guess that's fine. I did not glue this piece on yet because when I glue this together, I want this piece to hide that seam. And I didn't glue the back piece on, almost did, but I forgot that I need to glue this lid on first and then glue the backing on. So it will be pretty much like that, if I get it in there. So it'll be pretty much like that. And then that piece will hide that seam. So that's what I'm guessing. Well, I'm not guessing, that's what will happen. And then this one I glued on all the pieces because this just goes to the top, and this is the well, it will glue to this piece, sorry. So it will glue here like this. And then this piece will glue onto the bottom, but this is the downside. So I will wait until I glue the pieces along here before I put the inside covers on. And then I went ahead and I started this piece. This is the handle. And I wanted these to glue to dry. So what I did was I folded them half, glued them, put the clip on. I made sure that this ring was inside first. If you forget to do it, you'll have to make these all over again. This piece here is the handle. So you have to glue these pieces on just like this. You have to do it before you do all your gluing of your handle. So the inside will look like this. You have your tabs down here that will hold your circle. And then all you have to do is glue these pieces here. Just like this. That will be your handle. And what I will do, because I want this glue to dry, is I will just put those on. And I need this handle to dry really well so I can shape it when it's dry. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I will come back when I glue the lid, or when I glue this to the bottom, and then I'll show you that. Okay, so I finished the box. I have put the bottom on, glued it to the bottom, put the bottom on, and then put this piece to hide my scene. So now I'm going to do the top. I did do a mistake. I forgot that the top needs to go on the outside because it won't fit inside the lid like this. And you want the lid to close. So I did forget. I did have still one piece of paper left that I used that went with the paper that I'm using. So I'm going to put it on the back like this. So if you don't want to do that, I forgot, and you glue it on here and then glue the back piece on. I did forget. So my next box I will remember. I do remember by mistakes. I guess I didn't make this mistake the last time, so oh well. But I will go ahead and glue it. Here is the lid, and I will glue it to here. And then I will show you what it looks like after I've got it all glued up. Okay, now that I have the lid done, I have left this unglued. I did glue the backing on because I figured it might be easier to do it before I glued the lid on. So rounding the corners is pretty easy. You know, I do like to layer the inside. Not only does it give it more strength and hides the little tabs, but it makes sure that those little tabs don't come apart also. So here's the little box. It's not little, it's really big. I'm surprised at how big. I made one before and it held a lot. So here it is. It is almost 6 wide, a little over 4, and this is a little almost 3 inches. So that's pretty big. I put a lot of stuff. I've made one and sent one out and put a lot of things in it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the top on, and then I'm going to glue the back. And then that should be my suitcase, and then I will come back and show you how it is. I put my little embellishments on. I do need to do my handle and my little, I don't know what you call it, this little thing. So I will do that, and then I'll come right back and show you the finished project. All right, hold on. All right, so now I have my box made, and it's finished, and it's all put together. What I did with the handles is I just lined them up with the corner pieces of paper. Everything is finished inside and out, so when you open it, it looks nice and clean. I'm not going to write anything in the box. This was a cut apart that went together with the collection, and that's what these well, this wasn't. This was part of the paper, but this and this was a cut apart. This was a little cut apart, these little sections, and that's how I got it to match. This was the only piece of paper I had left over from 12 by 12. And so I think I'll make some 3 by 3 cards out of those to match. And so that's it. Pretty cool. And opens really nice and fits really nice. I mean, it is a lot of parts. It doesn't really take that much long. It doesn't really take that long. I would say, well, besides putting the video together, I'm showing 15 minutes, but probably add about an hour, maybe a little over an hour, cutting all the pieces out. I'm trying to decide the paper and everything. You do want to be careful of the directions. This one, it was so close when I cut this paper out. I guess I didn't think about which direction that went. I did, think about these, but I didn't. That's just a hair. It's just a hair long or wider than it is longer, and I just didn't catch that. And same with these pieces. So, but I don't think anybody will really notice. I think it's a cute little box, and it's going to hold a lot of things. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you're able to make it and that you bought it. It's just a cute little box. I really, really like it. And I think it would be great for all seasons. I've already used it for an Easter, Peep Easter swap. Now I'm using this one for a birthday swap. And I think you can do anything with it and make it into anything. I am going to probably put a little bit of an embellishment up here, but I think it's pretty sweet the way it is. So I'm kind of undecided about that. So anyways, thanks for coming by and following me. And you guys have a very blessed day. May God bless it.